Okay, sa ano na po tayo 'no, Article 2 na 'no, Declaration of, Principles and State Policy. So, simulan po natin dun sa likely matatanong 'no, sa bar exam 'no, kasi 6 lang po yung nakalagay dun sa topics na nakalagay diyan sa syllabus natin. Dito tayo mag-start sa sanctity of family life 'no, kasi dito po talaga maraming lumalabas sa tanong. Ano po yung kaso 'no, Imbong versus Ochoa. Okay, Imbong versus Ochoa. Sige, let's start 'no. Okay. So, the state recognizes the sanctity of family life and shall protect and strengthen the family as a basic, autonomous social institution. So, it shall equally, dito po yung mga tanong normally, no? Dito. So, it shall equally protect the life of the mother and the life of the unborn from conception. O, unang-una, what does equally mean? What does from conception mean? Okay, next. The natural and primary right and duty of parents, no? In the rearing of the youth for civic efficiency and the development of moral character shall receive the support of the government. So, what does primary mean? Okay, sige. Yun po yung mga top of my head puwedeng lumabas sa tanong. Ito po pakibasa na lang 'tong sa vital role of the youth in national building 'no. Let's go. What does equally protect mean? By the way, ito pong Imbong verse Ochoa, if you have time 'no, I suggest you read this in full text kasi napakadami po talagang principles, napakadaming provisions na na-tackle ng kaso na 'to. If I remember correctly, may equal protection clause pa 'to, may freedom of religion, ang dami po talagang rights 'no, na na magagamit natin para maintindihan natin yung Consti 1 and Consti 2. Marami po talagang rights na na-tackle, maraming provisions na na-tackle. So, ang suggestion ko, basahin niyo po siya in full text. Anyway, ilang beses po natin 'tong babalikan 'no, kasi marami nga tayong nakuhang good information diyan. Kahit sa Consti 2, babanggitin pa rin natin itong Imbong versus Ochoa case na 'to. Okay. So, what does equally protect mean? In a conflict situation between the life of the mother and the life of the child, the doctor is morally obliged to try to save both lives. So paano kung wala? If it is impossible, the resulting death to one should not be deliberate or intended. Okay? So the mother is never pitted against the child because both their lives are equally valuable. So what does this mean? It is implied that the doctor has the discretion who to save as long as the resulting death to the other is not deliberate or intended. Ba't pa nakasa ganun? Or, ayan. So, o kaya ang una nating choice dapat to save both. 'Pag hindi kaya i-save both, doktor po ang bahalang pumili kung sino ang mabubuhay sa dalawa. As long as yung pagkamatay ng isa hindi po deliberate, hindi intended. Okay, sige. What does from conception mean 'no? Kung matatanong tayo dito, probably dito sa from conception saka sa primary. 'Pag sinabi nating conception, it means the sperm already fertilized egg. Not when the zygote attaches to the uterus. So, ibig sabihin 'pag po nakapasok na yung isang sperm cell dun sa egg cell, ayan na, conception na po yan, okey? So, yun po mga contraceptive sa Philippines marami yan, 'di ba? One is condom, 'di ba? Saka yung, mga pills 'no, I'm not familiar with the pills 'no, kasi 'di naman ako babae. Pero marami pong contraceptive sa Philippines. Ang tanong, is this legal or not? It is legal, pero depende po yan sa function. How does this contraceptive work? Puwede pong maging abortifacient yan, puwede maging abortive, so illegal yan kasi abortion yun, 'di ba? Puwede ring maging legal. So, how can it be legal? Contraceptives that prevent the sperm from fertilizing the egg are legal kasi hindi po nagkaroon ng conception. So, dahil di nagkaroon ng conception, ang atake natin sa consti niyan, wala pang protection. Get, nakalagay po dito sa Section 12, Article 2, it shall equally protect the life of the mother and the life of the unborn from conception. Since wala pa namang conception, there was nothing to protect. Kasi hindi po nag-meet yung sperm at saka yung egg eh. That means hindi po siya illegal. Okay? So pag hindi sila nag-meet, like ano nga, condom. Eh, paano mag-meet yung sperm at saka yung egg dyan, di ba? Kasi covered nga. No? I think may female condom din eh. No? So you get the point. Okay? So, there is no conception, legal yan. So, ngayon papaano po siya maging illegal? Contraceptives that induce abortion, induce the destruction of the fetus inside the womb. Ito po ang tingnan niyo. Prevent the fertilized ovum from reaching the uterus are abortifacients because there was conception already, thus they are illegal. Ibig ko sabihin nitong prevents the fertilized ovum from reaching the uterus, ibig sabihin fertilized na yung egg. Nag-meet na po yung sperm at saka yung egg cell. Pero ang ginawa po nung contraceptive, hindi po pinayagan o parang instead na umattach yung fertilized ovum dun sa parang, uterus nung babae, na-flush out. That is considered abortion already. Kasi conception may conception na, eh, 'di ba? Kasi nga na-fertilize na yung egg. So that is an illegal, ah, contraceptive, illegal 'yan. So, maba-violate po niya 'pag inatake natin 'to sa political, huwag niyo sasabihing huwag niyong ilalagay elements na abortion 'no, kasi revised penal code 'yun. Puwede natin ilagay yung elements ng abortion sa revised penal code 'no, what are the elements ta's saka niyo ilagay itong, "It is an abortive because it prevented the fertilized ovum from reaching the uterus." Ang atake po natin dito 'pag sa Article 2, 'pag sa political law tayo tinanong, lagay niyo muna under the Constitution 'no, "The state shall equally protect the life of the mother and the life of the unborn from conception." Further, case law dictates that, um contraceptives, 'di ba, that induce abortion, that destroy the ano dinestroy daw? The fetus inside the womb, or contraceptives that prevent the fertilized ovum from reaching the uterus are abortifacients or are abortive. So, they are illegal. So, here 'no, sabihin natin the contraceptive is, illegal, sabihing ganyan, because it violates, ayan, the provision in the Constitution that states that the state must protect, 'di ba, the child from conception. There was already conception in this case, so the abortive should not be, paano ba, should not be sold in public, something like that 'no, something like that. Ano lang 'to, freestyle lang. So kayo naman, you will type this, 'pag nag-bar exam na kayo. So I hope mas maganda yung pagkaka-phrasing natin ng sagot natin. Pero ito po ang magiging basis ng sagot natin, ito. Okey, next tayo 'no, itong the natural and primary right. Ang important ulit dito, kung mapapansin niyo lagi, madalas po yung adjective. 'No, ano ba yung ano pa ba yung mga adjective na important na ganyan? Hindi, halimbawa sa kung tiga-uson yung fiscal, customs, immigration, saka sanitary, these are adjectives of what? The noun is law, 'di ba? So yun, important ulit yung adjective. Mahilig talaga tayo sa adjective. Kung mapapansin niyo sa law school, sa bar exam, nagkakatalo po lagi sagot kung valid ba o invalid yung nangyari because of the adjective. Primary, 'no, kung sa civil code tayo, ah, ano ba magandang adjective? Ayan, sa offer and acceptance, 'di ba? The offer must be complete, 'di ba? Not made not in jest, 'no? Ibig sabihin hindi not jokingly, at saka clear, oh, 'di ba? Adjectives 'yan, do'n po magkakatalo, 'no? So, ibig sabihin 'pag pabiro, 'no, sinabi yung offer, hindi naman seryoso, that's an adjective. Jokingly made the offer, oh, 'di ba? Oh, the offer must be jokingly. I don't know kung adjective ba 'no, adverb. I'm not, hindi na ako masyadong ano diyan, familiar, pero you get the point, 'no? Do'n lagi nagkakatalo. Acceptance, 'di ba? If it was not absolute, it is a counter offer. So, wala pang perfected contract. Absolute, oh, 'di ba? Gano'n lagi, okey? Sige, punta tayo sa anyway, let's go back to political law. Primary, this means that the parents' right and duty to rear their children is superior to the right and duty of the state. So, ano po ibig sabihin nito? What does this mean dahil superior? The state cannot take the custody of the child unless merong exceptional circumstance like yung bata is abandoned, neglected, or foundling. Okey, yan po yung nasa mapapansin niyo 'no, sa civil law saka sa remedial law sa adoption, 'di ba? Tapos sa criminal law, sa child abuse law, 'di ba? Ako nga 'pag nine-neglect natin yung anak natin, 'di natin inaalagaan ng tama, pinaglilimos natin, para sa'kin criminal act nga yan, eh, 'no? Kasi why? Kasi it degrades, demeans, and debases the self-worth and the dignity of the child kasi naglilimos mo instead na naglalaro lang yung bata. So with that being said, that is child abuse. Anyway, okey, so ibig sabihin ng primary 'no, ibig sabihin secondary yung state. So that means hindi po pupuwedeng tanggalin sa parents yung pag-aalaga ng anak unless merong exceptional circumstances. Next tayo. Primary does not mean exclusive, tandaan niyo yan, Primary does not mean exclusive. Even if primary ang right ng parents to take care of their children, to rear their children, hindi po nadi-disqualify ang state from also protecting the children 'no, as parents patre 'no. While parents have the primary role in child rearing 'no, it should be stressed that when actions concerning the child have a relation to the public welfare or the well-being of the child, the state may act to promote these interests. Okay. In short, it is true that the parents have primary right to rear their children. However, this right is not exclusive. The state can still give support to the parents no, to rear their children, such as the imposition of regulations or curfews for children. Example, ito po, no, hinango ito. Ganda naman ng salitang hinango. Hinango ito sa Spark vs. QC. No? The City of Manila implemented the curfew ordinance entitled an ordinance declaring the hours for from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. of the following day, something barangay curfew hours. By the way, this is a question noong 2019 bar. Political law, natanong yung Spark versus QC na yan. Anyway, so what's the curfew? Sabi dito ng XYZ Association assails the constitutionality of the ordinance because it deprives parents of their natural and primary rights. So ang tanong is, dineprive ba nitong curfew na 'to ang primary right ng magulang na alagaan ang kanyang mga anak, ang kanilang mga anak? No, hindi po 'no, kasi ayan the qualifier primary connotes the parents' superior right. However, this right is not exclusive. So you get the point 'no. Okay, so next tayo 'no, sa mga puwedeng ma-tackle. So anyway, ang general observation ko lang po 'no, kung matatanong tayo sa Consti 1 'no, ito ang isipin natin. Sabihin natin ano siya, 8 questions. So 8 questions sa Consti 1, 7 sa Consti 2. So sa Consti 1 po, dito tayo puwedeng matanong 'no. Kinakal ko na rin 'to siyempre dahil nakalagay po sa syllabus. Puwede po tayong matanong, magpe-predict na tayo 'no, hindi pa pre-week 'no. Anyway, sa pre-week iba po yung magiging discussion talaga natin 'no, mas, prediction based, mas stats based 'no, kasi titingnan natin yung mga previous bar questions, ano ba usually natatanong, at the same time yung Chairs cases. Ngayon po kasi more on the basics, eh, 'no, how do we illustrate it to you para mas simple sa inyo ang batas. So ito po, puwede tayong matanong diyan amendment and revision, kasi nga timely. Pangalawa, national territory kasi timely din, okey? Next na puwede tayong so dalawa na ano, sa mga tinakil natin na wala pa masyado sa Article 6, 7, 8, dalawa. Okey, so ano pa isang puwedeng matanong sa'tin dito, ang opinyon ko rito sa, delegation of powers. Specifically, sinabi ko nga sa inyo yung emergency powers. Actually, puwede mo nga din sabihing ano yan, eh, legislative department kasi nasa Article 6 yan. Pero yun 'no, tatlo, nakahiwalay siya so natin 'to, i-treat natin 'to as a different topic. So tatlo, wala po sa Article 2 ang prediction ko. Puwedeng maging tanong sa'tin amendment or in revision, national territory, saka delegation of powers ang paglalabasan ng tanong. Yung pong separation of powers at saka checks and balances, ang sabi ko nga sa inyo, this should not be tackled alone, but it should be tackled in relation to other provisions in the Constitution. So, wag muna natin siya i-consider. Basta i-make sure po ako mata-tackle yang separation of hindi puwedeng hindi, separation of powers. Kasi ganyan yung normally nagkakaroon ng unconstitutionality, na-violate yung separation of powers. Pero sasabihin ko nga, so I would like to say na eto po matatanong in relation to Article 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pala, wag natin i-neglect kasi constitutional commissions 'yan. So, 'pag sinabing doctrine of separation of powers ang topic, in relation siya to others. Anyway, sasabihin ko na rin sa inyo na isang tanong sa amendment and revision, isang tanong sa national territory, isang tanong sa delegation of powers, pero medyo 50-50 ako dun, not so much. Tapos at least dalawang questions matatanong, separation of powers ang sagot in relation to the other provisions. Okay, that's 4. Next, puwedeng tanong sa'tin 'no, next natin magiging topic 'to, equal protection clause. Kung hindi equal protection clause 'yan or 'to, kasi magkatabi naman sila, or exercise of police power. Ay hindi, ba't equal protection clause, nalito na. Eminent domain pala 'to, sorry, eminent domain, okey. Or requisites of valid exercise of police power, 5 na, o ilan na lang, 2 na lang, 'di ba? Diyan na po papasok yung saka natin ita-tackle. Ang dali, 'di ba? Ang daling mag-predict sa political law actually looking back. Hindi siya kasing hirap talaga ng remedial law, kasi remedial law talaga ang dami talagang panggagalingan ng tanong and everything is related. Everything is related from BP 129 hanggang rule whatever, 'no, talagang all of them. You have to consider every time when you answer. Ito po talaga kasi separated yung mga topics 'no, konti lang yung relationship, konti lang yung parang merong, in relation, yun nga yung separation of powers at saka yung mga provisions sa consti, pero other than that separate talaga sila, eh, 'no, so it's easier to predict. Anyway, ang dami talagang puwedeng itanong sa legislative department, alam niyo kung ano, expulsion of a member, ano ba ano, 'di ba? Ano ba votes required? Paano ba 'yan, 'di ba? Paano ba yung paano ba yung rules 'pag magpapa-expel tayo ng isang member of Congress? Is this a political question? Who promulgates the rules? Gano'n, something like that, 'no? Anyway, nakita niyo 'no, madali po siya mag-predict and so ang I would just like to say na kung matatanong man tayo dito, I think hindi po sa Article 2. I think hindi po sa Article 2. Pero aralin pa rin natin kasi baka mali ako. Okey, next up muna puwedeng paglabasan ng tanong dito is yung, of course, generally accepted principles of international law, yung GAPIL 'no, Article 2, Section 2, 'di ba? Ito, dito na tayo 'no. Based po dun sa ano 'no, based dun sa assigned reading sa'tin sa syllabus 'no. So, nakalagay diyan sa Article 2, 'di ba, the Philippines renounces war as an instrument of national policy. Trivia, eto po nga hindi na kailangang ilagay yan, eh, why? What ba trivia? Eto po construction lang ng law, okey. Hindi na kailangang ilagay ang renounces war as an instrument of national policy, why? Kasi po yung renouncement of war, that is also considered as a generally accepted principle of international law. In Tagalog, yan pong renouncement of war na yan, gapil din. So, kahit na nilagay lang sa Section 2, Article 2 yung gapil lang, okey na yun. Okey na yun, hindi na kailangan ng renounces war. Okey, anyway, let's tackle 'no. What are GAPIL 'no? GAPIL na lang haba nung generally accepted Kemerlu, eh. Okey. The term includes international customs and general principles of law recognized by civilized nations. Okey? What does that mean? It's vague. Tandaan niyo lang po 'tong dalawang elements na 'to. Kung matatanong kayo 'no, ito in relation na 'to sa PIL 'no, hindi naman ako yung magle-lecture sa PIL, pero in relation na rin po ito sa PIL. How can a principle become a gapil? May dalawa tayong kailangang tingnan, state practice at saka ito tandaan niyo 'tong Latin term na 'to, opinio juris sibi necessites, necessitates, na ano na ako, na tongue twister na ako. State practice, opinion, juris, legal, sibi, necessitates. So, ibig sabihin, itong opinyon na 'to 'no, the state has the opinion, has the belief that this action was carried out as a legal obligation, juris, 'di ba? Necessitates, obligasyon or legal necessity. Opinion that this act is a legal necessity. Basically, tinwist lang natin ng konti yung kung wag niyo lang kung hindi mo itong belief na 'to ang sasagot niyo. Opinion that this act is a legal obligation. So, madali po yung state practice, eh, walang problema 'yan. 'Di ba? Kasi hindi kayo tatanungin sa bar exam kung gapil yan o hindi kung wala namang practice in the first place. Yan po 'di ba napansin niyo ba ako 'pag nag-a-apply tayo ng elements palagi, I usually use common sense. How can this be asked to you? Lahat ng subject sa tinakil ko pati sa remedial, pati sa civil, mapapansin niyo lagi kong sinasabi yan. Hindi po sa first element na yan magkakaroon ng problem kasi kung walang state practice, eh, ba't ka pa tinanong, 'di ba? So magkakaroon po ng, um, question diyan sa PIL dun sa second element. Did they practice this act? Oh, did they practice this conduct because they believe this is a legal obligation? It is their legal obligation to do this. Example, renouncement of war. Sabihin natin wala po siya sa constitution natin. Oh. Can we consider that as gapil? Aba, wala namang nagwa-war sabihin natin 'no, God willing 'no, wala namang war. O di may state practice. We do not engage in war for so many years. Ngayon, did the Philippines or does the Philippines consider this as a legal obligation? Yes, 'di ba? Kasi parang ang mindset ng Philippines, 'di ba, hindi dapat inaaway ang kapwa niya bansa, 'no? Actually, puwede mo nga sabihing parang moral obligation din 'yun siyempre dahil ano, goodness of humanity. Pero legally obliged, 'di ba, parang legal obligation natin na hindi magsimula ng away sa ibang mga bansa. That is GAPIL. Ano pa? Eto may example, sovereign immunity. Ibig sabihin po nito, yung pare in parem non habet imperium, 'di ba? Something like that. Yung, sovereign equality of states. Ibig sabihin sa Pilipinas hindi mo puwedeng ihabla ang country of, yung United States of America, Mexico, Brazil, hindi mo puwedeng ihabla sa Philippines. State practice, yes, hindi naman nahahabla sa Pilipinas ang US. O ibang mga bansa, Brazil, Mexico, at the same time, we consider this as a legal obligation to do. Why? Kasi courtesy na din. Kasi sa bansa nila, 'di naman nila hinahabla yung Pilipinas, eh. Eh, di same thing sa Pilipinas, hindi rin dapat sila ihabla. Lagyan na po siyang legal obligation. Kaya generally accepted principle siya. Saan pa nage-get niyo? Paano nagiging gapi lang isang principle? Gano'n. May reason lagi. Why do we consider this as a nation, as a legal obligation? Ano pa? Immunity ng mga ambassador. 'Pag nagpadala po ng, delegation ng US sa Philippines, kahit ano man ang gawin ng ambassador 'no, kung pumatay man siya ng tao, hindi po siya puwedeng i-convict sa Philippines. Kasi nga meron na pong generally accepted principle among all states, courtesy ulit. Actually laging kadugtong 'yan pala 'no, tip lang sa inyo, laging kadugtong 'yan ng courtesy. Ginagawa ito ng iba sa atin, so dapat tayo ginagawa din natin sa kanila. Basically parang reciprocity. 'Di ba, parang kahiyaan na lang na pareho-pareho tayo, parang konsuwelo 'to do'n sa kabilang state, kasi kabilang state 'di rin ginagawa sa atin. Oh, ano man ang gawin ng Philippine Ambassador sa US, makapatay man ng tao, hindi po siya ikukulong sa US. Ang mangyayari diyan, kung galit man yung bansa do'n sa nangyari, tatapusin na lang yung, parang ano, yung parang diplomatic yung diplomatic mission. Naku, naalala ko pa. The diplomatic mission, matatapos na siya. Okey, in other words, pauuwiin ng USA yung ambassador to the Philippines, something like that. Okey, the diplomatic mission will end. So, magkakaroon po ng severance of the diplomatic ties. So, magkakaroon ng tampuhan. Pero hindi po puwedeng magkaroon ng criminal sanctions yung ambassador ng Philippines sa ibang bansa. Why? Kasi generally accepted principle of international law. Why? Kasi courtesy, 'di ba? Courtesy na lang 'no, nag-aano tayo, hindi namin ginagawa sa inyo, so dapat di niyo rin ginagawa sa amin, something like that. Okey, so ayan, isa pa, right to life, liberty and due process, napaka-obvious, 'di ba? Magpatay ng tao kahit di mo ilagay diyan 'yan, hindi dapat, 'di ba? Pacta sunt servanda. So, pacta sunt servanda means international agreements must be performed in good faith. So, that's a generally accepted principle, 'di ba? Why? Kasi 'pag meron tayong treating pinag-agreehan, dapat we comply with this in good faith. Otherwise, magkakaroon ng claims 'yan 'no, diyan sa anong tawag dito, International Court of Justice 'no, magkakaroon ng hablahan diyan, something like that 'no. Courtesy ulit, 'di ba, nagpirmahan tayo rito, dapat 'wag mong sirain, 'di ba? State practice and, yun nga, opinio juris sibi necessitatis, okey. So the phrase renunciation of war means aggressive war. This does not prohibit the state from defending itself from invading states. Sabihin natin in-invade ng country yung country B, hindi puwedeng yung country B hindi makikipag-war sa country A 'no, kasi ano, eh, 'no, 'wag pala dapat invading states, not necessarily kasi nung panahon naman ng World War II hindi naman in-invade ng Japan yung ano, eh, from aggressor, 'yan. Hindi naman invade ng Japan yung US, 'di ba? Pero US, it defended itself kasi nga na Pearl Harbor, 'di ba? Yun, eh, pinasabog yung Pearl Harbor. Anyway, so 'yan, aggressor dapat. So, doctrine of incorporation saka po yung doctrine of transformation, tandaan niyo pareho po siyang nasa provision natin sa Constitution. Yung doctrine of incorporation, yan po yung nasa section 2, article 2, 'no? Hindi na po kailangan ng legislative action para maging part yung international law ng municipal law, meaning ng domestic law. Tandaan niyo po, itong Doctrine of Incorporation, this is limited to GAPIL. Yun yung nakalagay, it's limited to GAPIL, yung coens, yung mga yan. Obligation erga omnes, yan, mga limited po dyan sa mga ganyan. Okay? Hindi na po kailangan kasi nga generally accepted na silang principles eh. So, ibig sabihin sa Philippines, ganun din. O ngayon dun po sa mga hindi GAPIL, ius coens, yung obligation erga omnes na yan, 'no? Okay. Ano po ang mag-a-apply na doctrine? Ito pong doctrine of transformation, 'no? It means international law forms part of municipal law if there is legislative action. So, basically opposite lang po siya ng incorporation. Asan po yan sa ating, Constitution, Article 7, Section 21. No treaty or international agreement shall be valid and effective unless concurred in by at least two-thirds of all the members of the Senate. Assuming po na yung treaty na pinag-agrihan is still not considered as a general accepted principle or as a jus cogens. Kasi kung jus cogens na yan, 'no, or, GAPIL, incorporated na siya agad. Doctrine of incorporation will apply. Pero kung hindi pa, doctrine of transformation. Kailangan po ng approval ng Senate, two-thirds of Senate. Hindi po kailangan ng House. By the way, no, since we're in this topic na, no, tackle na natin. Who ratifies treaties? The President. Ano lang ang role sa buhay? Ano lang ang role ng Senate dito sa pangyayaring ito? Concurrence. The President ratifies the treaty and the Senate concurs, gives its concurrence or its disapproval. Okay ba? Pero pag tinanong ka who ratifies treaties, President po ang sagot diyan. In case of conflict between the international law and the Constitution or municipal laws, titingnan niyo po dapat from what point of view. From the point of view of the local state, sabihin natin, ano ba ang iko-comply? Sabihin natin in conflict ang Constitution, municipal law, include na rin natin yung Supreme Court rules. In conflict siya sa treaty pinirmahan, which will govern with respect to the parang happenings, events, incidents dito sa loob lang ng Pilipinas. Loob lang ng Pilipinas. Ang maggo-govern po diyan yung Constitution, municipal law, or yung Supreme Court rules. Okay? Why, 'no? Kasi ayan, hindi na pala, ayan pala. Jurisprudence dictates, Gonzales versus Echanova, okay? Pero from the point of view of the international community, ang maggo-govern po dapat is yung treaty. Why? Kasi nakalagay po sa Article 46 of the Vienna Convention on the Law of Treaties, no? A party may not invoke the provisions of its internal law as justification for its failure to perform a treaty. In connection na rin po ito sa Pacta Sunt Servanda. From the perspective of the international community, ang maggo-govern po is yung international law kasi the state cannot invoke its own laws, its municipal laws to evade, to fa to evade the performance of the treaty. Why? Kasi of the doctrine of Pacta Sunt Servanda. Treaties must be complied with in good faith. Kung hindi kinomply, ICJ yan. Okay, pwedeng magkaroon ng kaso. Ay, nangyari. Ayan. Okay. So yun nga, sa Supreme Court powers of the Supreme Court, rule-making powers at saka international law in the perspective of the local state ulit, the rule-making power of the Supreme Court prevails. Kasi kung hindi po, ito naman, the doctrine of ayan naman tayo, di ba? Sabi ko sa inyo, in relation siya dapat, yung doctrine of separation of powers sa ibang mga provisions. Because the doctrine of separation of powers will be violated kung maggo-govern po ang treaty over the rules of the Supreme Court in the local state. How? Who ratifies treaties? President. Who concurs to the treaties? Members of the Senate. So, legislative at saka executive. Yung ginawa nilang panukala, yung pinirmahan nilang treaty, magiging mas matindi kumpara sa rule-making power of the Supreme Court. Eh di basically yung prerogative sa Supreme Court na interfere ng presidente, ng executive at saka ng legislative. Kahit na 'pag sa court tayo, rulemaking power of the Supreme Court sa court, dapat Supreme Court lang ang nakita niyo ba the way I explain it 'no, mas simple. Ah, Supreme Court lang dapat ang ano diyan, may exclusive prerogative diyan, exclusive power. Kung ano may rule sa kanyang court, Supreme Court lang ang magde-decide, ang promulgate. Pero yung treaty in-interfere siya. So doctrine of separation of powers na violate, okey? Okey, ibang mga topics dito 'no, ito democracy and republicanism, ulitin natin, note, if babaguhin natin ang Philippines from a democratic and republican state to democratic and socialist state, this is a bar question, I forgot what year it is. That is considered as a revision. 'Pag sinabi mong democratic and socialist, kasi nagbago po yung basic principle, 'di ba? You alter the basic principle of the constitution, of the government, okey? Sige. So, qualitative test kahit na 'wag na tayo sa quantitative test yung, substantial number of provisions, 'wag na tayo dun, sa qualitative test pa lang bagsak na, that is a revision. So, dapat con-con lang o con-as lang ang puwedeng, magbago niyan, hindi puwede ang people's initiative kasi amendment lang ang people's initiative. Okay, so what does republican mean? It means representative. Republican means representative. Okay, all government authority emanates from the people and is exercised by representatives chosen by the people. Tandaan niyo, Republican representative. So, ibig sabihin, government authority is exercised by elected public officials and their actions represent the will of the people. Magluluklok tayo ng mga representatives natin 'no, mas relevant 'to lalo na dati nung ano, walang Senate, isa lang talaga yung assemblyman lang 'no. Anyway, let's, not digress so much. Republican kasi tayo binoboto natin yung mga taong, gusto nating rumepresenta sa atin 'no. So, yung nananalo sa eleksyon, ang assumption po diyan dahil sila yung nanalo at 'pag gumawa sila ng act, gumawa sila ng law, gumawa sila ng, order, these actions represent the will of the people, gano'n lang po kasimple. They act for and on behalf of the people. 'Pag sinabi mo naman democratic state, 'di ba? The state power is directly vested to the people. Basically, tao talaga mismo ang magde-decide. Tao talaga mismo ang mag-a-act. So, tandaan niyo po itong constitution natin, parehong meron. May mga democratic provisions 'yan, may mga republican provisions 'yan. Republican provisions, 'di paghalal ng presidente, vice president, senador, congressman, okey? Representative state. Democratic ano po 'yan, yung people's initiative. 'Di ba? Direct talaga, tao nagsabi, 'di ba? Wala ng con-con, wala ng con-as. Tao nagsabi, ipa-ratify natin pagkatapos, ipa-plebiscite na natin, okey? Also, meron pala yung sa RA 6735 'no, yung law in connection with ito nga, Section 32, Article 6, "The Congress shall provide for a system of initiative and referendum." Kasi po ito initiative and referendum na lang ano, sige, hindi ko na siya tinakil nga kasi masyado tayong makaka-cloud, masyado tayong ma-overload. Basically lang po 'yan. Hindi naman ano po, 'pag sinabi mong initiative and referendum, it also covers yung ano, laws. Gusto ng tao itong law na 'to, okey. So, hindi na kailangan dumaan sa Congress, ganyan, hindi dapat dumaan sa Congress. Hindi hindi po Congress ang mag-i-initiate. Sabihin natin ayaw talaga ng Congress, Republican, 'di ba, Republican state, ayaw ng Congress. The Congress was not representing the will of the people. The people likes this law. Sabihin natin yung SOGI bill. Wala, hindi nga ano 'no, hindi if my memory serves me right, hindi nga siya naipasa. Anyway 'no, so sa democratic state gusto namin, ano ang remedy ng isang state with democracy? Initiative, 'di ba? Kami mismo ang mangangalap ng pirma para maging law 'yan, okey? Hindi naman na-enforce 'to sa Philippines masyado 'no. Why? Kasi practicality na lang po tayo kung magkakaroon talaga tayo ng expenses, ng hassle, na magpapapirma tayo around the Philippines, ang normal po niyan amendment to the Constitution. Kung law lang, sorry ba't tayo magkakagasta, 'di ba? Kasi ganito, kung may gusto na lang tayong panukala, tayong mga tao, bakit sa law ko lang ilalagay? 'Pag sa law ko lang nilagay 'yan, subject to repeal, 'di ba? One law can be repealed by another law. 'di ba? So kung ako, magpapa-initiative na lang ako, ilalagay ko sa constitution. Mahirap burahin 'yan. Aba, kung gustong burahin ng representatives natin 'yan, 'di ba, representatives, elected public officials, kailangan baguhin mo yung buong constitution, 'di ba? Ang hirap nun con or con-as, 'di ba? So ako po 'no, kaya hindi ko yun pala isang reason din ba't di ko masyadong tinakil yung RA 6735 na yan kasi hindi siya masyadong ano, kung sa law lang ang pinag-uusapan natin, hindi siya talaga nagagamit kasi from a practical perspective, practical sense, hindi naman law, magpapa-initiative ka para lang sa law, 'di ba, na subject to repeal, eh, di sa consti mo ilagay kung ano man yung gusto mong ilagay sa law, ilagay mo sa constitution, tutal naman yung constitution natin mahaba, eh, di ilagay mo lang. Ano naman kung mahaba yan, pahabain mo, 'di ba? Pero andun yan, like yung sa SOGI bill, dun mo ilagay, equality of all genders, 'di ba? Whatever the gender may be, dun mo ilagay tapos yung iba further provisions, tapos ang usapan. Okey, next na puwede i-tackle, to Supreme Court of Supremacy of Civil Authority over Military. Ibig lang sabihin, civilian po ang mas makapangyarihan kumpara sa military. How is this manifested? The President as civilian is the Commander-in-Chief, hindi po general, okey? Social justice po ito 'no, ang opinyon ko lang dito mas maganda siya i-tackle sa labor. Kasi dun po talaga nagagamit madalas ang social justice sa mga manggagawa, tandaan niyo 'yan, 'no? Marami po kasi 'yan, may social justice sa agriculture, ano 'yan yung SIPRA tuloy, SIPRA naging canons, yung CARP, Comprehensive Agrarian Reform, that is social justice for agriculture, 'di ba? Tapos yun nga, normally dalawa yan, saka labor, social justice sa labor. Paano mo how is this manifested? In case of doubt, we construe in favor of labor, that is social justice, 'no? We level the playing field between workers and employers. Workers